All right, everybody. It is 9:05. Let's get started. Good evening, everybody. I am super excited to be here tonight with all of you. I just finished a Spanish call and we're on fire. So now I get to do it in English. So exciting. um, there's a couple of things before I pass it on to our very special guest. Number one, we have been posting in the WhatsApp group the different events. There's some live events going on. Anytime I find out of any, I post it in the group because you may know someone in that area and you don't have to be there, but just send them to the presentation and just get in touch with them after they see the presentation. Uh, I know that tomorrow night at 7:30, Richard Smith is going to be in San Antonio. Eric Allen is going to be, hold on, let me look at he's going to be in Indiana on the 16th. And then I also know in Orlando, we're going to have Richard Smith on the 21st. I don't have a location yet. Don't text me or call me. And I don't have a time. But as soon as I know, I will be posting it because it will be most likely in the evening because it's a weekday, it's a Thursday. I will know probably by Wednesday or Thursday this week. And as soon as I know, I'll let everybody know because it's an amazing, amazing opportunity to propel your business. So my goal is us as a team is to have at least 100 people in that event. Yes, I said it, 100 people, because we all know people in Orlando, in Florida. I mean, everybody knows somebody in Florida. And if you are within the driving distance, I remember I've gone to Miami for a presentation, which is 3.5 hours away from where I live. Okay, so don't um, don't prejudge anybody. Just invite them. Give them the information. You don't know what people are praying for or what they're looking for, and we have an amazing vehicle. So make sure that you, as soon as you know, especially those that are here in the Kissimmee, Orlando area, as soon as you know, I pass you the information, we start inviting. Start making your list now. Oh, and you can even tell them, what are you doing on the 21st? Oh, I don't have anything in my calendar. Perfect. Pencil me in. Pencil me in, and I'll tell you the time and the place where we're going to be. You just put that day, you reserve the day, basically. But I know that it's going to be in the evening. So make sure that we take advantage. That can propel your business to the next level. Any of those events. If you know people in San Antonio, tomorrow is the day. Tomorrow is the day that anybody in that area can be in person, live. They can hear from the men with the vision, and there's nothing like that. You know what I mean? Like there's no video that will do the job better than an in-person presentation by the visionary. So I encourage everyone, and not only for yourself, but let your teammates, because look, we have a few people on this call, and we have hundreds already in the team. So who's not on the team and you know them, make sure you tell them, okay, that number one, we are getting ready because this is what's going to happen. Those of us that are working now will be the one that have a 2024 like never before. But if you wait for 2024 to get here and start working, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. So continue working, continue sharing, the videos, the TCM. Make sure you continue connected to the team. And tomorrow we should hear more about the KYC. As soon as I know anything, I will post it. And plus, you hear about it. I mean, we got plenty of different avenues of learning. So without further ado, probably at the end we'll say a couple of more things, but I don't want to take too much time because we have a very special guest, Mr. Arnold, Dr. Arnold. He is, an amazing man. He's a man of God. They had an amazing event yesterday. And tonight he's going to teach us everything of, I told him to try to keep it simple so that I can follow him. So as much as he can about AI, and then if we have to have him a second time, we'll bring him on along for a second time. But Mr. Arnold, please take it away. It's all yours. I'll make you a co-host. That way you have the PowerPoint you can share as well.
All right, all right. Can everybody hear me?
Yes, we can. Louder.
Yes, we can.
All right. I'm still super excited. Thank you. I'm still super excited from yesterday's event. We had some folks in, and Dr. Blow was the host, and so was Pastor Eugene. And I'm telling you, we're growing leaps and bounds here, right, in this market. So, guys, like Maria just said, don't sit on this to 2024. Work, push. But the thing I wanted to talk to you about today is about an initiative that's going to take place on January 5th, right inside Transact Card. And it just so happened I graduated from Cornell University in a course dealing with artificial intelligence and blockchain essentials and technology. So that's pretty much my background. And so I'm going to see if I can share my screen. Let's see, where's that button? It's here somewhere. Bear with me. Oh, here it is. Share screen. It's all green. All righty. And we're going to share my PowerPoint. All right. And let's see if I can get her live. Can everybody see?
Yes.
All right. You see that smiling face right there? Okay. So what I'm going to talk about is AI and what's in it for you in regards to marketing. And I'm telling you, a lot of companies are using artificial intelligence right now. The federal government, DOD, and I'm just going to show you a little bit of my background. I am a veteran, serving in the Army and the Air Force, and I had an opportunity to get a little taste of it prior to discharge. But it is here to stay. So just a little bit about my background real quick before we get into the meat of the subject here. I'm a graduate from Cornell University in blockchain essentials. You're talking about cryptocurrency, and we're talking about how banking do transactions. And since we're in the market of transactions, which is Transact Card, blockchain plays a very important part of that. And I'm not going to go into trouble you with too much of that. That'll probably be another lesson in the near future. Graduated from Virginia State University, just to give you some credibility. With a background in electrical engineering, and of course Liberty Baptist Theological Seminary, where I gained 3 of my masters in theology. Of course, if someone had a question, oh, okay, I thought I heard someone in the background, and it speaks for itself. That's basically my background. Had an MBA from University of Phoenix, and of course community college and ecology and so forth. But the real meat and potato, what I'm really excited about is AI. That's where I'm really excited about. So let's go ahead and get started on that while we have a little bit of time. And of course, this is what you see all the time in reference to AI. Okay, some people are like, what is AI? What it has to do with me? So let's take a look at it. Okay, and how can it help in marketing? It can help you in marketing, and especially depending on your organization and so forth. And I'm gonna try to slow it down, but I hope I don't go over too many people's head. So when it comes to analytical phase of digital transformation and AI, meaning artificial intelligence and machine learning, that's basically what it is in a nutshell. It's like you're taking a software, a machine, and you're teaching it how to make decisions, how to think on its own without too much supervision. And it's one of the things that a lot of companies are using to enhance their business, include Transact Card. They're definitely instituting this type of technology in our platform. I don't know what part of the platform they're utilizing and how they're going to use it, but I'm here to tell you, if you look in your back office, this technology is going to be integrated into our platform. So be aware come January 5th, it's going to be here right in front of you. It's going to help your business. It's going to help streamline how Transact Card utilize and send information through Learn Technology. All right. So what is it? What is AI? Bottom line, artificial intelligence refers to computer system capabilities of performing tasks that historically require what? Human intelligence, such as reasoning, decision making, problem solving. AI is the umbrella and term. I'm going to move this. This is right in my way. Let me go ahead and get that out of the way. That way I can see a little bit. Let's see. Sorry about that, guys. Okay. I'm going to have to go for it. Well, it's problem solving. How you want to problem solve? It is also an umbrella term that encompasses a wide variety of technologies, including machine learning, like I said before, deep learning, natural language process. Anybody using that is using AI right now, like JPEX 4, 5, something like that? Anybody using any apps that have AI in it? If so, please raise your hand.
Yeah, I use ChatGPT.
Okay, ChatGPT. Okay, the ChatGPT 5 or ChatGPT 4?
I think it's the 4.
Okay, which is very good. It's a very good operating system. It's a good way of communicating. A lot of people are using like the technology for, a lot of good reasons. A lot of it for other reasons, like in case they feel lonely, they want to have an interaction with the technology. You're talking with somebody and it's interacting with you back. I have found that technology is utilized in sales. Say, for example, you wanted to reach a lot of people, but you don't have the time. It's something that never sleeps, okay? And you have a sales force of AI, consistent of AI, contacting folks that have gone to your website or have gone to Transact Card website. Transact Card said, hey, I got a great idea. Let's use AI to reach these guys. And then if they join Transact Card, we'll distribute them to our individual DBOs. That's just a thought there. I'm just thinking ahead. And it can happen. It can happen. There's some people who may not have heard of it, may have heard it, and of course they have a website with nothing on it, but it works. So if somebody signed up under that, of course they have to have someone, a DBO ID number to make it work. But let's say they did, and they went in and signed up. They don't have no DBO as to guide them. That AI will contact them. And I'm going to show you an example of how it works because it's going to blow your mind. That AI will contact them and ask, hey, we noticed that you've gone to our website and we don't know if you have any questions. Why did you go to our website? What part of it? And it'll interact just like a real human being. It just blows my mind how wide this thing is. So I'm going to show you, I'm going to move a little bit. Let's see, the next slide. Get to it. And here's another question. Can it help marketers? I'm going to get to that point. And what is marketing automation? So here it is. So I know I'm going to slow down just a little bit so you can take notes. Somebody can screenshot this. But this is basically the definition of marketing automation. And that's exactly where a lot of companies are going towards. This is where Transact Card is. I'm believing that Transact Card is going to utilize in the future. I could be wrong, but if they're using AI integration, this is going to be a very important part of marketing. So marketing automation is using software and AI technology to automate repetitive tasks and current scopes of what marketers could typically do when they're reaching their customers in all parts of the customer's journey. And I'm going to show you an example of that. Now, marketing automation has its roots to business. Anybody familiar with business to business? All right. But it's also, of course, it does apply to business. And let's move on to the next one. You remember seeing this guy? Does anybody remember this guy? Space Odyssey 1968, year 2021. This artificial intelligence out in space. This was back in the days when I was just a kid. I used to watch it. It was a sci-fi movie. and how this AI took over the spaceship and it was used to integrate in the ship, but it turned rogue because it was a software problem. And I mean, I'm telling my age now. And it started killing all the astronauts except for one. And it integrated and speaks to this astronaut and let him know what's going on and just tell him, you can't leave. I don't want to die. It has self-awareness. And that's pretty scary when you considering.
Call.
I heard somebody in the background. Hey, Jerome. But it's just one of the great movies that started up that give you the idea of how sci-fi, how people look at technology at the time. And you have to think about it. You know, the whole concept of AI goes back to the 30s. You know, a lot of people don't know that, but I mean, it goes back to where computers were born, where people were talking about robots. Computer was on battleships back in 1938 that was used for range finding for enemies to lock on enemy ship when firing those 16-inch guns. Anybody in the Navy can relate? And they utilize them. That's how they did. And then we look at remember this. Anybody remember this movie right here? Shall we play a game?
War games.
There you go.
Yeah.
Now here's this young kid having to tap into a military computer. Yes, sir. Did somebody mention my name? Okay, I could have sworn I heard somebody. But let's move on. But this guy, this computer was playing a game. It's just like a little baby computer in the grand scheme of things. And this computer could not determine the difference between reality of the game or just playing a game. And it was locking into ICBMs, nuclear biological weapons, for about to launch thermonuclear weapons to war. And it couldn't differentiate until the guy told it, let's play a game of chess, or play a game of checkers. And it found out it couldn't win after all many seconds. I mean, if the show tells the rest of the story, but it really gives you an idea how fast it was back then, its leaps and bounds today. And of course, everybody talks about Skynet. Every time we talk about AI, everybody wants to throw Skynets in the mix. We're hundreds of thousands, maybe 1,000 years before that even happened. And that only has nothing to do with it. That basically have to do with artificial general intelligence and not AI specific intelligence as we're working on today. Okay, so when you hear about AI, don't think about Skynet. Just think about artificial and specific intelligence, as that's be the term, because that deals with learning softwares and algorithms and consistent how it is the consistency of the algorithm by pattern, not by self-awareness or making decision on their own as they was a human being. And remember Jarvis on Iron Man? He was self-aware too. So I really like that character on the movie. But that just to give you an idea how Hollywood looked at artificial intelligence. I just wanted to share that with you. I mean, a lot of people got a vague, understanding about the technology and how it really works, and they only based on what they see on television. So, again, AGI, artificial and general intelligence, that's the Skynet type of situation. We're nowhere near that. You don't have to worry about it. And then the type of technology we're utilizing today, and that's what's coming, and that's what's already here, that's artificial specific intelligence for a specific task to be done, not in generalization where it just overall controls everything and knows everything. That's just not the point. I hope I haven't lost anyone there. So let's talk about AI algorithm. I'm going to show you a video about just a little taste of the AI algorithm. Anybody like Teslas? Anybody drives a Tesla? Ever drove a self-driving car? You don't have? Well, it's a great car. I mean, it's electric. I'm still a gas guzzler and a BMW driver. I like horsepower and I want it, gas burning. That's just me. But the part is the car I own does have a self-driving mode. It does have an AI in it where I interact with it, and it's called Beamer. So if I say, hey, BMW, it'll respond and it'll tell me what I want to know. Pretty much similar technology to this one. But I want to show you how this car is self-driven through AI technology by itself. Just for example, it's only a minute and 56 seconds long. There's no sound to it, but just imagine your car driving by itself. And it has sensors in front, radars on front, all around the vehicle, and it knows how fast it's going. It can detect where the lights have changed. It knows where there's a vehicle to the left and right of it. And the reason I know, I experienced that myself. Pretty scary, huh? Can you imagine putting your hands down and letting your car take over? Not many people feel too comfortable about it at this time, but it is growing. It is becoming more of a pattern as the technologies improve. And then it goes from 45 to 23, and then it goes up to 65. And as you can tell, if you look on the screen, it's constantly working and being self-aware of what's around it, and the cars and the sensors are picking up these vehicles to the left and its right without having any problems. Now I want to show you another video that's where we're talking about marketing, when we're talking about sales, when we're talking about reaching out to our customers, or like particularly like TCMs. We want to reach out to as many TCMs. There's coming a time where we can probably obtain software or a service that will provide for it. And this air company provides that kind of service where it'll reach out to customers. Like some people use, what's the thing called, where you send emails to people or you talk to them and say, hey, you guys, you're looking for an opportunity. This one's a lot different. What it does is your customer has a interest on a particular product or services, or like Tesla, it goes to the Tesla website. It will contact that customer and interact with them. And it's totally AI. It's no human being talking to it. Pretty scary, huh? But that's what it does. And this is an example of one.
Hey, James. Yeah, who's this? Hey, James. It's Alexander from Tesla Motors. How's your day going so far?
It's going pretty good, my man. How about yourself? You said from Tesla, right? The car company?
Yeah, that's right. I'm calling from Tesla Motors, the car company. Did you have any trouble or questions while customizing your car on our website?
No, we're just kind of shopping around and, just taking a look.
Gotcha. That makes sense. Sometimes we're just exploring our options before making a decision, and I totally respect that. Can I ask you why you were looking into a Tesla in the first place?
Yeah, I mean, I've had my car for way too long now, and so I'm kind of taking a look at options. I have a lot of friends who just absolutely rave about Tesla. And, me myself, I'm actually a big fan of Elon Musk, so I figured I might as well take a look and kind of explore my options there and see what you guys have available.
That's a smart approach, James. It's always good to explore your options and see what's available. Out of curiosity, what do you currently drive?
Yeah, I drive an old Ford Fusion, my man.
Nice, a Ford Fusion. Why are you looking to switch things up and consider a Tesla?
Yeah, I mean, I've had that car since literally since I got my first job years back. And it was just time for a change. So it's like, it's not super reliable anymore. And it was time for an upgrade. I'm moving into the city now, and I actually think it's time. While I get the new apartment, might as well get the new car at the same time,
I totally get that, James. Moving to a new apartment is a great opportunity to make some fresh changes, including getting a new car. Are you looking at purchasing any other cars at the moment? Or are your eyes just set on Tesla?
I'm still looking around, but mainly Tesla. I have a lot of friends who, obviously have them, and I'm a little bit jealous. I have to say, when I test drive them, they're super fast. Obviously, it looks really, really amazing. So mainly looking at Teslas and just kind of trying to figure out which is the right one, and before making a decision on which one to go with.
Well, let's change that as soon as possible then. It looks like you're in Omaha, Nebraska. Is that right?
Yeah, correct.
Great. What if I do this for you? What if I schedule a time for you to come into a dealership near you to give a Tesla an official test spin, and you can see if this is the car that makes sense for you? Is that something you would be down for?
Absolutely, that would be amazing.
Nice language.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, it looks like we have a 7 p.m. or an 11 a.m. available in Omaha time. Which time works best for you?
Let's do the 7 o'clock.
Great. I'll lock in that time for you. You're all set for a test drive at 7 p.m. Anything else I can help you with, James?
Nope, that's it. I really appreciate you giving me the call.
Well, it was my pleasure speaking with you, James. I can't wait for you to give a Tesla a spin. There's nothing like it, in my opinion. If you have any more questions or need assistance in the future, feel free to reach out. Have a great rest of your day.
You too. Bye-bye. Thanks so much.
Hey, James.
All right, guys. What do you think? What's your opinion on it?
That was amazing. You didn't know he was talking to an actual AI. Thought he was talking to a human being.
Absolutely.
Sounds genuine.
It's real, guys. I mean, this is in real estate. I got dozens of examples of this technology at work. I mean, from real estate agencies to insurance agents, to set someone to be pre-qualified to talk to a licensed agent. That customer, by the time that customer talks to a live agent, that AI already got all that individual's information, age, weight, or health information, contact information, and address. So that whoever that closing agent it is, that agent got all the information ready to go. Same thing in the car business. As you've seen here. That's how big this thing is. I mean, it's getting to a point now, and as I was studying in class a few months back, they were talking about how it's going to replace, it's going to streamline how we close on mortgages and houses. If you want to buy a house, you won't have to go through so much with the agent after you look at it. As far as closing, you can see the house, you have the agent to help you out. But as far as closing attorneys, closing attorneys going to be gone. It's going to be digital. It's going to be an AI that'll pre-fill out the paperwork and make sure it's streamlined, and it's going to be that quick. So there's going to be a lot of folks that are going to have to change careers or change education to keep up with this thing. So that's how this thing's going to go. I hope y'all enjoyed that little video of sneak peek there. And of course, one thing about AI, it's a learning phase. It goes through what's called learning, machine learning, and those machine learnings are called supervised learning. I'm just gonna move fast about it because I don't want to put too much in one time as they have done with me. But you got supervised learning, unsupervised learning, and reinforcement learning. And the thing about supervised learning, if I could find my notes here. Here, I think this is it. Yeah. These algorithms or these patterns, they are supervised by our software developer to ensure that the continuity and consistency are there. Once that is done, then it goes to the next phase of the operation, where it goes to the next learning phase it goes to another unsupervised phase, and of course that's a lot with that. The only thing you should be concerned about in your business or any business in marketing is that you use those tools that's already been tested from alpha and beta phase, just like we went through, to pre-launch phase. That this technology is already ready to go in set for your business. So when you talk about, and I'm going to screw it. This is the X and Y's, and of course key. Oh no, I thought I forgot about that quick. Key performance indicators. That's what KPI stands for. That's in relation to the final performance of the AI and how it's performed during the alpha and beta phase. Our company and every company go through alpha beta phase, and also go through what's called key performance indicators that they help to evaluate companies' performance. Like initially, when there were just 5,000 people in Transact card, they were processing those debit cards it was going through those processes are being monitored, and every transaction is monitored and goes through a calculations, and based on the number of people who signed up, based on the number of people who become TCMs. Those indicators tell the founders or the owners how the company is going to perform, and it gives them a projection. And I'm looking at it from a corporate level. It gives them a projection of how that company is going to go in the next future. That's why I see the company going to be $1 billion, maybe a few $100 billion. That's what I see the future in the next 5 to 10 years. So that's just give those key performance indicators are important for any type of technology, that's being used, especially Facebook. Those of you on Facebook, if you're marketing on Facebook, I implore you to utilize the technologies that's in front of you. If you're not using Facebook to market yourself or to build a brand about yourself and how this company can work for you, and what people can see you excited about Facebook, like we do in our DBO group, then you're shortchanging yourself a lot. And I'm here to tell you that. You want to be bringing exposure to the mass. And that's one of the tools a lot of companies are using social media as a platform, using AI as part of that platform. I've created a number of commercials through artificial intelligence where the avatar, which is an artificial person, speaks in my behalf. Now, I'm not going to show that avatar at this point for the sake of time, but if you go to any of my social media platforms, you come to my Facebook page, you're going to see my avatars. and it goes through the whole process, okay? So that's where that is. Unsupervised learning, and it's definitely the opposite of supervised learning. It's operating on its own. It's being monitored. Right now, I know if they're using AI, the company using AI, it's going through their supervised learning process, and it's going through the unsupervised learning process. And then the last one, I'm going to skip through all this. I don't want to confuse anyone. These are just variables. Now, reinforcement. Everything that the AI have learned, that you have information, past data, which is past data that's been handed down, historical data that you have, those data go through what's called a feedback loop. Within that feedback loop, if the information is learned, any new information that is inputted into the computer system, it goes through this loop, and if the computer or the AI relearns the additional information and apply what is good, and whatever that's not necessary or outdated, it'll set it out automatically. That's pretty much what I would. And let's see. So when it comes to machine learning, what is it? It's an application of AI that facilitates making prediction based on historical data, like I mentioned earlier. It continued use means that their algorithms get smarter as new data emerge. So if a marketer wants to know, for example, how better distribute content, how to they might use machine learning to validate or correct their own prediction. This is the way they do it. Okay. So if you were like sitting in a home office and you want to know if social media platform is working better for you, you'll use this technology. If you want to know how the key performance indicators to transactions, that's for every swipe or for every person that goes to the what's the thing we got to the Transact Card Z Club transaction and all that goes through these indicators to a data pool, and these indicators let it know how well or how slow we're doing. Okay, that's why this emphasizes that it's important that we utilize the technology to monitor, to come up with new ways of knowing how the company is performing overall. Okay, and I'm just speaking, like I said, I'm from my mindset of an AI guy working in corporate. So that's the best way I can connect the dots for you. But yes, and of course, supervised learning, you analyze a pattern. Everything about AI is based on patterns. So if you were working back in the 1920s and building assembly line for a Model T Ford, and you make these machines that make like the radiator, for example. These radiators they're making the same radiator every time, okay, for this particular Model T Ford. And it only knows how to make it one way, okay? The other part of the line makes a different way. Make another part for the radiator. So it's just, for that machine, it's just the same pattern. It's all consistency, just like AI. Hey, it thinks a certain way and based on program that's initiated and pattern and historical documentation and the information that's provided for it from the past to the present. And of course, we have variables, which is X and Y's. And of course, key performance indicator let us know how the company is doing overall. A lot of corporations use this to monitor how well the company is performing in marketing, how their marketing strategies are working for the year. Like right now, we're on Christmas rush. Everything's about Christmas. I mean, from the time October hit, you ever notice the building are talking about Christmas? And here we are in December. Everything, every commercial, everything that you ever see on social media is about Black Friday, and then from Black Friday, it went straight into Christmas sales. And AI played a major part of that. Okay. So here's another question. I got to move this aside so I can read. Some possible use for supervised learning. Okay. The possible use for supervised learning in AI is, one, it's predicting sales based on historic allocation and media mix spends. Predicting what type of consumer will purchase or product based on their social economic data. Predicting how long it would take for the customer to purchase the item and adjust the price accordingly. And trust me, I know Transact Card is using this too. Predicting CPG, which stands for Consumer Product Goods, market share based on historic data. So we're looking at last year performance and year performance. That's how they come up with that. And predicting customer life value based on historical data. So if you ever watch the news, they always give you these indicators on how they're from this Christmas compared to last Christmas. That's basically what it is. All right. Unsupervised learning. I'm going to go right here. Again, it's AI algorithm used by a fine pattern in X variables when there's no particular outcome variables that you want to monitor. Then you can be useful. It can be useful for tasks such as looking through large amount of demographics, like one part of the country, or social economics or psychographic data of your customers, or in order to sort them into a cluster or segment. One industry used this product and this type of algorithm is MetLife. Anybody familiar with MetLife? Anybody familiar with MetLife as an insurance company?
Yeah.
They use AI to make this determination based on segment, based on geographics, demographics, and psychographics. So don't be surprised if our leaders are utilizing this technology for that same purpose. Some possible use for unsupervised learning is create lookalike segment based on existing customer data, extracting previously unknown cluster of consumer base and of their demographic data, and of course, the possible use of reinforcement learning, and the difference between ads upon whether the consumer clicks on them or not. Now, this is what I have done in the past during class. It's one of our class projects. I had to create an ad, then I had to put it on social media and look at the demographics of what kind of people looked at it and how many people clicked that ad. And what I found based on demographic, most of the people who find this information quite useful are people who are aged between 34 to 65 plus. And as far as demographics, you're looking at more so either I don't know. It goes either way, but most is from the East Coast to Mid-Atlantic area. So, and that's the area I was focusing on just to see how the performance indicator was looking at how it was performing. So, I mean, it goes either way. I mean, it depends on what you want to use and how much money you want to use in capitalization to perform this work. Let's see. So let me see. Oh, we almost. So continualization, optimization, promotion, offering based on what consumers. I can't see with this thing in the way. Get out of my way. God, thank you. Consumer have purchased or not in the past. Continuously optimization. Remember, alpha and beta test. It's very important. Experiment based on output of previous experiments. Just like we went through. We went through the first initial phase, we went through the beta phase, and then we went through the initial pre-launch to initial launch, and then post-launch, providing guidance on what alpha and beta tests has run. So they take all this data, they take it and learn from it, and that's how they come up with strategies to better reach out to customers and how to help each us do more better in our own performance as far as reaching out to people about our company. And that's one of the things I got really excited about this. How can you use machine learning? It's important to know that what AI can and can't do for marketers. You got to know its limitations. Having a clear understanding of the different kinds of machine learning algorithm will allow you to determine the best use of AI within your marketing process. With that, you want to get with your software developers. You may want to get with somebody who's an expert in AI. There are companies that are providing services to marketers so they can how to optimize and reach out to more people, or to create like artificial people to do commercials where you can reach out to people and capture their attention. That's what it's all about. It's getting people interest. Against explorer issues, machine learning. Well, at their best, AI and algorithm decision support system can be used to augment human judgment and reduce both conscious and unconscious bias. And that's been a problem when it comes to AI, because I know as far as the federal system, right now, if you put in an application, you're not sending the application by hand to an individual supervisor, manager that will evaluate your resume or your application. This is all done online. If you notice, most companies don't want to see you. They want to see what you have online. And guess what happens with that? AI goes through your applications and your resume and determine what is the best pick for the company based on that information. The sad thing about this whole thing, it used historical data that could be discriminatory. So let's say you wanted to be an electrician or a plumber, or you wanted to be a pro boxer, for example. And based on historical data, they would say most boxers are male or most plumbers are male. And so instead of hiring like my sister to be a plumber, they'll say she doesn't qualify because she's not what? Historically a male. And that's one of the things that with this technology, we have to be mindful and supervise to ensure that equality basis is not prejudges and it still cause a situation with inequalities. Okay. So, and that can happen. That's why software developers and persons like myself have to be on the lookout for, and you should be, as a consumer, should be on the lookout for such bias. And again, being aware of what AI can do. Be aware of the three buckets. The three buckets are what? Is supervised learning, unsupervised learning, and of course, my favorite, reinforcement learning, which reinforce what the learning process in which the AI have learned, and also the new information that's implemented within the technology. So what's the limitations? Just like anything else, like I always say, there's limitations to everything. AI is not all-knowing. It is not, as I say, God, it's not God. It's not, doesn't know. There are some limitation factors in it of what it can and can't do. And let's be honest, there are some things that AI can't do. All right? So just bear that in mind with the technology when you think about it. Don't think about Skynet like it's all-knowing, will destroy human race. It's not that. It's just basically another tool that can help us revolutionize the industry that we're in. So let's capitalize on this, guys. And I thank you so much for that. Pretty much concludes my lesson on AI. I hope I hadn't as we say in technology, went over your head or give you a headache, because there's a lot to learn in this technology, and I try my best to try to keep it in a short form. And I thank you, Maria Vargas, for giving me the opportunity to speak on the AI technology. Thank you so much for allowing me to do so.
No, thank you. Thank you for that explanation. Now, does anybody have any question? If you do, you can either write it on the chat or you can raise your hand and then we can see you. But no, Dr. Arnold, that was absolutely amazing. You do have a lot of information. Now, for somebody like me, you know, that I have been technically challenged for a long time, where should I start? What is like one or two basic points that you can tell me or tell everybody that we can do to start the process? Because I know, like I have ChatGPT and I have used it. I do, you know, like at time. Let's say if I want to write like a summary of something,
right.
If I'm looking for information on anything particular that requires in-depth information, I go, instead of going to Google, I started using the Chat GPT, and it's a free app. I use the free version. So I started doing that just to start getting used to the process. But one, you know, if you have one or two or even three basic steps that you can tell somebody new.
Well, one thing I like to encourage other than Google, because Google has its limitations, and like my professor said, don't use Google. Well, one source I always like to tell people who are just starting to look into AI, go to credible sources, like go to Bing. And even if you Google, just look for articles about it. Basic information on like, okay, what is it, and how can I get started? Or you take a class. It's like, I mean, there's a bunch of places that's providing information for first time learners probably in a little bit less involved than what I have to go through. But there's like gives you a small teaching point introduction about it. Now, if you want to use like AI in marketing, that's a whole different scope because you got to understand marketing in order to incorporate the AI. But I always tell people, do a Bing search, Bing. Everybody familiar with Bing? It's Microsoft, of course. And it can point you in some direction, some sources where that's credible. And it's AI too. That's AI. Or if you're, here's another one I'll give you too. LinkedIn. And if you're a member of LinkedIn, it's right there in front of you. Oh, and I'm going to tell you, if you type in anything on LinkedIn, first thing they're going to ask you, do you want to use AI? LinkedIn does have AI operating system in it. But it's not hard. There's some basics information about AI in the World Wide Web. Of course, there are some websites. There's plenty of sources out there. If you like, I can share. I don't have it right in front of me right now, but I can share a few that will give you some insight and that I use, and that's very helpful. But always look if you wanted to learn more about in depth, or not just earn a certification. But let's say you know somebody who want to earn a degree in it. One of the universities that I know that's teaching it in depth is MIT, Virginia Tech, Cornell University. That's all I can think about. Maybe Florida State University too.
Okay, thank you very much. Now, anybody else has any questions for Dr. Arnold? I don't want to keep you guys too long, and we're coming up on the hour, so I just want to make sure that if anybody has any questions, we can address it. Otherwise, if nobody has any questions, remember that we have the promotions going on until December 31st. We have 3 more weeks. Make sure that you are putting in your TCM. Tomorrow we are getting another corporate update. I know that they already started integrating some KYC with the like the president and the senior VP, the chairman of the companies. Those are integrating, so we should be hearing very soon when is our turn. Another thing is that remember that they're having different live events. So tomorrow we have a live event. Richard Smith will be in San Antonio, Texas. If you know anyone in that area, send them to the event. And then on the 16th is Indiana with Eric Allen. That's another great event. We will be having one in Orlando on the 21st, as I mentioned before. And I will have those details by middle of the week or maybe Thursday. And as soon as I get it, I'll give it to everyone. Let's plan to have a big week. You know, if you don't know where you're going, you're never going to get there. Make sure you plan your week. It's a great time to start planning your year. We're going to have a great 2024, but we have to stay focused on where we're going. There's a lot of distraction going on right now. We have the holidays. Remember, the holiday is one day, which is the 25th, not the whole month. And yes, we want to be here with our family. We want to spend time. But, you know, like I mentioned earlier, what would you rather have or be, you know, when your family has an emergency or they need anything from you, that you are able to provide them what they need. So you got to keep your why in front of you at all times. There's going to be a lot of distraction. There's going to be a lot of times that we don't want to do what we said we were going to do. But it's important for you, for each one of us, to know our why. This is a very, very critical time. This is where the boys are separated from the men and the girls from the women. Okay? Because I tell you, I know that a lot of people are going to be in different positions next year. Mm-hmm. But the ones that will be in the best position are the ones that stay focused, stay on course, did the work, invited people to events, called the friends and family, stay on track of your job, of your business. Your family needs you. You know, you are doing this for a reason, not just to hang out on Sunday night with me. I know that. Okay, and I'm not doing it just to hang out with you guys. I love you all, but we have to go to work. Mm-hmm. And that means there's a lot of people, especially come January, there's going to be a lot of people that really, really need an opportunity. And you will see it because we always, every January, people overspend in Christmas and then they start crying in January. Okay? Every single year we go through the same thing. So make sure that you are positioned, you keep growing, keep reading the books, keep staying focused. Don't listen to naysayers. Don't listen to what people are saying. Stay focused on your dreams and plan your week, plan your year. This is a perfect time for you to write down your goals for 2024 so you can start with momentum. So on the 21st, we will have an event in Orlando, and I want to see a lot from this group because I know everybody knows somebody in Florida. Okay? So if nobody else has any questions, any comments, anything, we thank you, Dr. Arnold. We thank you for your time. And we will be in touch during the week. As soon as I know anything, I will post it in the group. Let's go to work. Let's have a great week. Okay? Have a good night.
Good night, everybody.
Good night. Good night.
Good night.